Blessings. Welcome to BLN Organics. And my name is Solomon. I'm 25 years old and I live in Trinidad. I want you all to join me on a journey where I grow all my stuff organically. This is my little organic garden without the use of conventional chemicals and just clean. Um, I do believe that God, Mother Nature, has given us all that we need to grow our own food and be sustainable, self-sustainable, self-sufficient, and at the same time be economic. I want you all to see, my successes, my failures. I am not a seasoned gardener. I've only been doing this for a year and 6 months, and I've had lots of failures and a good bit of successes. I come from a background where, or I started doing construction. It wasn't really like a background, but I started doing construction from a very early age in my adult life, and I knew that that was not the field for me. I knew I wanted something more to my life, and I feel a lot of purpose from this little organic garden. Obviously, I intend to grow it and actually have it make money for me, and I just want you all to join me. I'm just documenting my journey so that you all could see everything. I mean, if you're not a gardener, well, welcome to my channel. So here we have my tomatoes. This is my tomato bed. Everything is built from the soil. All your life, everything comes from the soil. So underneath here, how we started this bed, we dug holes. We filled those holes with topsoil, a little bit of manure, which came from ducks at that time, and we just keep on building and putting manure, topsoil over time. And to cover that, we had mulch, grass. I got this from in Trinidad. We have CPEP, which is usually a government company that cuts the grass in the neighborhoods, and I just collected the grass from them and obviously put it on my bed. So as you can see, I had to learn. Well, this is not my first bunch of tomatoes. I had like probably four before. Four other crops, four other batches before. And what I learned is that tomatoes are a heavy feeder, and certain do's and don'ts along the way, like wetting the leaves. You have to prune, and the amount of watering, and so forth and so forth. But we will learn about those things as we go along. I'm just showing you all that I believe that everything comes from right here, the soil. This is your foundation. As long as you have a good foundation, that's basically the basics of organic gardening. As long as your soil is good, your ground is good, and you take care of your soil, more than likely you're not going to have much problems, and you're going to have a lot of yield, as you can see. Okay, so we have some failures here due to overwatering. Now underneath here, we have installed drip lines or drip tape, and well, eventually over putting more manure and more grass, they became covered. Now, one thing with tomatoes, they are drought tolerant plants, and with water they can strive very beautifully. But with too much of water, we have this plant. Well, it was better looking, but eventually it withered and died actually because we had too much water. This is the first time I've experienced this dying due to too much overwatering, and well, there's definitely a learning process. The plant was growing like nicely until we left on the line for too long, and then we had some withering taking place. So we have come almost to the end of our reaping. We've taken like 40 pounds of tomatoes. Beautiful, beautiful fellows, beautiful. Good stuff. And yeah, well, we have a lot more reaping to do, and we're going to close off this. I'm going to start pruning, and we're going to investigate the soil to see if it's a good time to start applying more manure and grass, or if it's not. So I just want to show and document the power of organic. Now this tomato, or this tree, the tomato is starting to get rot. For whatever reason. I think this was also a result of overwatering as well, or too much manure. However, I do not know the real cause of this rot. As I say, I do not know all the answers. I'm just a regular newbie in gardening. However, I do know that this started to rot at a tremendous pace, but now, as you can see, the rot starting to dry up. And if we had given this like a few more weeks, or even give it a few more weeks now, you will see that inside is totally repaired. But let's see how it is inside, right? I'll bite it. As you can see, inside is just as normal, just as clean. This, people, is the power of organic. This is why I love it.
Yeah. Well, we do some work on this tomato bed here. We basically dig some holes in the beginning and fill it with some nice soil that we get from a sawmill. Some nice soil, breakdown black. Once it break down black and dark brown, you know that it have good organic material inside it. So that's how we start off this bed with. And we keep topping it up with grass, dry grass, so we collect from the side of the road or wherever you cut. You make sure you pick up the grass. Make sure you don't have no weedy side inside it. And we pick it up and we keep building the bed. So we put a layer with straw, and then we put some chicken manure, straw, chicken manure, and that's how we've been building this bed. So far, if you look at the tomatoes here, you don't get about 70 pounds out of this already.
What, 80?
It could be about 80 pounds we get from this already. So, and it's still going like normal. So it's all about the soil and the building of the soil, and that's what we have to work with. The soil until we'll feed the plants. So that's about it for now. Generally, you will know by the consumption of the stuff, but here you can see that no roots ain't really coming into this chicken manure on top here. So you know that here this could do with some more using. So you know that it have more time to break down, work into the soil. The insects and stuff will work it into the ground, and the roots will go in and sort of feed. But when you know that you see the roots and you see the the stuff basically broken down, it will create more food, yes, but to create to build the soil more, you have to keep applying layers. But this one here, we apply enough probably for this cycle of this plant here for now, and probably more. But yeah, that's about it here for this.
So we're doing some intercropping here. We have some chives, however you want to pronounce it. But this will build the microbes in the soil, the diversity of microbes in the soil. The more microbes you have, the better for your soil. The soil actually build with more microbes. So we're in the process of pruning, and I'd like you to notice that it has a main stem and suckers. What will be classified as a sucker is these little fellas, this growing out to the top of the branches. Now first of all, you need to prune off all the low branches that are touching the ground or even pointing downwards. So like all these fellas would go. So it's going to take this little snip and snip off all the low branches. Now I should have done this if it's easier to see. See, cutting off all the low branches. And now the suckers, which are these little fellas right here, these can be taken off with your fingers since it's so small. But the bigger ones, we cut them off. So we're going to cut off this branch as well since it's a long one already. It's starting to dry up, pointing downwards. And we have a big sucker right here. This here is a big sucker. So we're just going to chop him off. Boom. Now this fella could be replanted, and this would produce tomatoes even faster. So what we will do to this fella, we will just chop up this low leaf, boom, and plant him. Now I'm not going to leave that there, but that's just for illustration's sake. But so this, as you can see, like this leaf here is close to the ground since we've planted him. So you can chop that off as well. Oops. Good. And that is going to grow into a big healthy plant like one of these. And just like that, you can multiply your tomato garden very easily.